So today I'm going to be doing a little video on upgrading and repairing these older PowerMac G5s. So this guy here is a early one. I think this is the first gen 2003 one here. So you can see that's the front panel, and on the back it's the older one, so there's only one. So it has a modem built in. It only has 1 gigabit Ethernet port, and it has only 2 USB ports. The newer ones have 3 USB ports. I think it has like a second FireWire 800 on the back, and dual gigabit LANs here. And it looks more like a Mac Pro. Now, but if we open this guy up, and we lift off this panel, it's easiest to do this on its side. All these repairs and stuff will apply to the ones with the air-cooled chips. So you can tell all the liquid-cooled ones would have one big thing here that says G5. The air-cooled ones would either have one CPU here, or 2 of them, so it says G5 twice. If it says G5 once, and it's one huge thing, that means it's a liquid-cooled model, and none of this stuff will apply. So you can easily take off the plastic panel here. So this here is a single 1.8 model. So you can see that it has one CPU here, which we'll show how to replace soon. It has all the pads for the second CPU to be placed here, but it doesn't have the actual melting stuff soldered in. This guy currently has 1.75 gigs of RAM. I might do another video on upgrading it if I can get my hands on some. But right now that seems to be working pretty well. I don't use it that often, but I do use it whenever I need a PowerPC Mac. Right now it also has a 5200 Ultra. Even though it says Ultra, it really is not that fast of a GPU. We're gonna go into swapping that and the fans here. So we got the fan for the PCI Express cage and stuff. You can see here, this has this is the mid-range 2003 one, so it has a 5200 Ultra and a AGP card, and then 4 PCI X slots. Up here we have a DVD drive, and we have dual hard drives in it right now. I put that in now. So yeah, let's go over replacing some parts next. So let's first go remove some of the easy parts. So the fans just pull out like this, and the upper fan just also pulls out just like this, but this one actually has some plugs in here. So if you see in here, we have a come on, you can't see this, but there's a speaker plug and a fan plug all hidden in here, which you have to tug on a little bit. Should pull it from the connector, but there you go, they're pulled out. So now if I pull it out, you can see those 2 cables there that hold in the fan and speaker assembly here. Next thing's RAM. This is standard RAM removal. You just push down on the sides and RAM lifts right out. It has 8 full sticks, or the capability to put 8 in. It only has 6 right now. So here, all the RAM's out. And then let's go take a look at how to swap the graphics card. In order to remove the graphics card, you first have to take out this screw right here, and then it just pulls right out. So let's do that. Now that the screw's out, the only thing that's holding it in is this little clip here for the AGP card. And here's the video card. It might look like a standard card, but it has these extra, this extra slot, which isn't normally an AGP, for power on the older Apple displays that use the ADC connector right here. So you can't put a normal GPU in, you have to get a special Mac one, which costs extra and actually kind of hard to find. If you want something fast, I think you can put a 6600 Ultra in here. No, 6800 Ultra, I think you can get a Mac version of that. I don't know how much they cost these days, but I might look into it one day just for fun. Okay, so here's a couple more little things you can remove. The airport card. All you have to do is take off the little antenna connector, and then it just lifts right out. And the CD and DVD drives are pretty easy too. The DVD drive has these little tabs that you have to pull up. Once you do that, the drive just kind of lifts up from the top. This is one of the few things to do that's easier when it's sitting down. Oh, I think I can move these over all the way. Here it goes. Yeah. And then it should, if I'm doing it right, lift up. Now that these are pulled out and it's on its side like it should be, here it just kind of slides out, and all you have to do is take out the 2 connectors at the back of the drive. Now that we've taken out the SATA cables, this drive here just kind of slides out. Sure. Just slides out. And then you actually have to take off the bottom one before you can take out the top one, because the top one has to kind of slide down like this in order to be pulled out. And the G5s had horrible hard drive melting mechanisms. Other than that, there's some other little things. There's a modem here which can be removed by a few screws. I'm not going to do that. And the battery can be pried out later. Let's go into the CPU and power supply removal now. So in order to take out the CPUs, there's 4 screws you have to do. One screw is here, another screw is here, another screw is here, and another screw is all the way back there. The other thing you can do is, if you want, you can take off these panels. There's just a few little clips on right here. So clip, 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 and the G5 panel comes out. For this task, I'm going to be using a screwdriver like this with a really long handle, which makes it easier, and I'm going to do this off camera because I like having 2 hands when I take off the CPUs. Now that all the screws are out, you can see CPU module, you have to lift it just straight off because of all the plugs, and this thing is actually a lot heavier than you might think it is. But in here, we can see the actual chip is under there. Huge heatsink. This little heatsink on the back cools the VRMs. There's a power delivery module. And here's the big plug. Don't touch this because you might be able to screw up one of those. And you can see it plugs in right here. Don't touch that guy either, because if you screw up one of those, you have a dead motherboard or CPU module. And if you want to actually replace the thermal compound or something, you have to take out all of these screws. I'm not going to do that now. And then the whole, this PCB comes off of this heatsink, and you can change this thermal compound or put a different CPU module on a heatsink, or that type of stuff. Next thing to remove is the power supply. When it's still on its side, remove these 4 screws on the bottom. These hold in the power supply, and then flip it over, and we'll look at the next step once I do that. Now, in order to access the power supply, you have to remove 2 screws. So right here and right here, remove this plate here. That lets you actually get to the real power supply that's hiding under it. I'm going to do this off camera because it's quite a bit of just shaking the whole thing. You have to kind of bend it and just get it out just right, and then it comes out. So now that that's out, you actually have to unplug the power supply from the motherboard, so that involves taking off these huge power connectors here. Because, okay, there's 3 power connectors here, so it's this little guy here, probably just CPU power. The main one, it looks like an ATX one, but I doubt it is. Here, and then this guy here, which runs to the back and goes up to the hard drives and stuff. Now what you want to do, in order to take this guy off, you just kind of lift them up here. This little spot here is the access panel that tells it if you've put the plastic piece in, and if you don't, it's going to rev up the fans and act crazy. You can actually shove a little piece of paper in there and it looks just fine without it though. Next thing, this connector here pops right out, easiest to take it out then. Here we go. We have the power supply here, nothing really exciting. 2 big fans here that intake air into it. And all the hot air comes right out the back here and goes out, so power supply is on the bottom. Next thing we're going to get into, and it's easiest to do it when it's laying down, is the motherboard swap. Now what you have to do is, because there's a few pegs like this motherboard actually slides back, the thing comes out. So you have to just take off all the screws and unplug all the cables. So first cable you have to take out, IDEs. These fan cables up here, which run the 2 blower fans and stuff. Here we have all the SATA cables and this cable here, which goes up to the, looks like a temperature sensor up there. Next thing you have to take off all the screws. So if I'm right, there's a screw here, 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 right here, 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 yeah. And then you have to take off these posts here. Once you take all of that off, it should just slide out. Okay, now, so to take it out, all you have to do, slide it, and then it should kind of just, once you get a nice spot, just kind of lift off. Make sure all these cables out of the way, Yeah, and then it's out. It's kind of a trick wedging it out, but here it is. This thing's actually kind of heavy because it has a big metal plate, and B, on the back we can see there's quite a few heat sinks here. So this is what's cooling right now. There's also a bar dryer. There's the main heatsink, and this is the secondary. Yeah, this is probably like the main memory controller heatsink, and this is probably the PCI Express. Like, there's a North Bridge, South Bridge system. Little temperature sensor right in here. Quite a bit of attention to detail, and we can see there's actually fan shrouds here that make sure the air goes to the right spot. Next thing we can remove is this little fan here. I think that's going to be what I'm going to remove for now. If you remove all of these screws here, you can take off the other side panel, but there's really no reason to unless you might be Hackintoshing it or something. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching this little video on how to repair a PowerMac G5 2003. And please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Bye.